Could be me. Maybe it was only my grandmother, my aunts and uncles, and my mama that used to tell me when they saw my friends, yeah, baby, you can't hang out with them. Or, ooh, I know you think she cute, but she might not be the one for you. Sup? How you doing? Welcome back to A Moment of Clarity with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. I'm super excited that you're with me, but I want to know, did you put me to work last week for you? Did you give this to 3 people? Did you bring somebody with you? All right, so let's jump on in here, right? We've been talking, and you know this is the space and the place of where we're going to talk about how clarity breeds confidence. And we know that with clarity breeding confidence, we have to be clear or have answers on 3 questions. Who you are, where you currently are in your life, and ultimately where you want to go. All right? So considering that, I want to dig into from a different angle on this moment of clarity on who are you? All right? So here's the angle we want to talk about today. Are you being authentic? I just want you to let that sit in for a second. Are you being authentic? When are you being authentic? How often are you being authentic? Where are you being authentic? All right. I want us to kind of think through that, because your most authentic self, so your most genuine self, your most natural order of operation of who you are in environments, that's your most authentic being. That is who God created you to be, right? Your most authentic self, the uniqueness that makes you who you are, the thing that in the relationships why people gravitate to you in a way that sometimes you can't explain. I don't know why they call me. I don't know why they keep coming. All those things there, that's your authenticity. But the question is, are you being your most authentic self? And here's where we have to be honest about our most authentic selves, is that there's a lot of times that for a lot of us, we actually aren't doing it. And the question is, we got to ask, is it why? Why aren't we being our most authentic self? Why aren't we just being natural and relaxed and carefree and comfortable? Is it because you feel like people are always watching you? Has it been an environment and where maybe growing up being you wasn't enough, whether it was school or work or church, whatever it is? Have people not celebrated your uniqueness? What's keeping you from being your most authentic self? I want you to think that. I want you to think about that. Because wherever there's a level of improvement, wherever level you are in authenticity, there's a level of improvement. You could probably be more authentically you. And why am I pushing on this authentic piece? Why am I pushing on this genuine, this natural piece for you as an individual? Because when you're you, you give other people permission to be themselves. We got too many people being copycats right now. We got too many people walking around like I'm from Detroit, so we're trying to build like we're building cars on an assembly line. No, humanity is a people business. There is uniqueness in you as an individual, and the world needs you to show up, not a version of somebody else. So what keeps us from showing up? I think it's 2 things. It's awareness, and it's also safety. So let's talk about awareness for a second. Awareness. Now, this could be me. Maybe it was only my grandmother, my aunts and uncles, and my mama that used to tell me when they saw my friends, yeah, baby, you can't hang out with them. Or, ooh, I know you think she cute, but she might not be the one for you. So grandma, what you think of, and they don't say nothing? Yeah. Because see, they had a level of awareness being outside of your body, outside of your life, to be able to observe. But somewhere in there, when we introduce hater into our vernacular, we thought everybody was hating. And if you go back and look at some of the people that your folks told you not to hang out with, they was probably right. Come on, let's keep it 100. It was probably right. But you ain't want to hear it because you thought they was hating. But what they were doing is they had an awareness and understood your uniqueness, and they knew that if you connected with that person, that it would start to erode at the very thing that makes you who you are. You've been connected with some crazy folks, huh? Maybe been connected on some bad jobs, some bad environments, some bad neighborhoods. Yep, probably have done it because you weren't aware. You didn't have the understanding of what was around you and who you are ultimately to make sure you put yourself in the right environment, to surround yourself by the right people. And so the awareness keeps us from being our most genuine selves, because we are basically, a lot of us as human beings have navigated trying to just be chameleons and walk in the door and be who we are. And here's what's the most ridiculous thing about that is that none of us look alike. Even twins don't look alike. Even twins don't have the same DNA. Even twins are different. They weren't even born at the same time. But there's something in us because we're not aware of who we are. We try to find opportunities to just kind of slide and get in, which gets to my next point of just trying to be safe. And let's be clear. My parents, hey, if it was back in the day, my parents probably would have got, CPS called on them because, we got whooped. But they were trying to have an environment to correct and to make sure that they got us in the right direction. They were doing the best they could, right? So though they were trying to do that, there still were certain things that in that corrective nature out of love that said, I might not want to do that. So now you start looking for what? Safety and environment. And sometimes when you can't find a safe environment, you figure, this environment, I see what it is. Let me go in it and be safe. And what happens most of the time? You ain't being authentic. You're just trying to give the environment what you think it needs so you can get out of it what you want. But here's where a lot of us are being disappointed. And Carter G. Woodson talked about this in The Miseducation of the Negro. He said, when the individual, the black man, the black woman, the individual, the person is not authentic to themselves, and they try to take their uniqueness and put it into a system or an environment to play by somebody else's rules to get it, ultimately you're going to be frustrated and disappointed. And I know enough of you, you're frustrated and disappointed because you've watched people who are less talented, less gifted, probably less professional, probably less put together than you are, just zoom straight past you because they were willing to be themselves and you were trying to be a version of yourselves that you thought the environment wanted. But I'm not upset with you about that, because depending on the trauma, maybe it was being broke, maybe it was getting fired, maybe it was something when you were growing up. I don't know what it is, but trauma has a tendency to make us not want to go through that again and to find a way that in any environment to be safe. And when we go towards safety, a lot of times that doesn't mean that we're going to be authentic. All right. So what do we do if we get this awareness and we realize that we're playing it safe? I think the last thing we need to do that I want to address here is we got to start analyzing our environments. We got to start analyzing our environments, because our environments of who we're surrounded by and what we're actually doing consistently, neighborhoods, relationships, jobs, or what have you, those environments, we have to ask ourselves the question, are they conducive for my authenticity and for me to grow? Are they? In some aspects, they might not be. But I understand it. We got all do what we got to do. I remember working on jobs that wasn't conducive to my authenticity. But guess what? Brother had bills. Hey, tired of people calling my phone. And I ain't had no money, right? Brother got bills. So I understand you doing that. But there's a moment that you have to take a step back and answer the question, am I okay not living who I am and being who I was created to be? Is that frustrating me more? Or is it the uncomfortability of potentially finding some place that might accent exactly who I am, who I was created to be? Is that better for me? So do I take kind of the stuff that I've been kind of getting, that's been okay, that I've learned how to tolerate? Or am I going to go pursue and say, you know something, this is where I need to be and I'm not going to stop until I find it? Yeah, that's why that stuff is in your head. That's why that stuff is in your heart. Why you can't let it go, because the uniqueness of who you are is not an environment to unleash everything that God has given you. And so I just want you to take a step. I want you to do some inventory this week. We're getting ready to shut this one down, but I want you to do some inventory this week. I want you to do 2 things for me. One, I want you to go talk to 3 of your friends, people that you trust the most, that's going to shoot you straight. And I want you to ask them to describe you with 3 adjectives. 3. Ask them to describe you with 3 words. And before they give you their answers, you need to write yours down someplace. 3 words for you to describe yourself and see the themes that come out. Other thing I want you to do, I want you to actually take a step back and analyze the environments that you're in. Your home life, your work life, your neighborhood, the things that you're doing. Are you in environments that allow for you to be your most authentic self? And if the answer is yes, then let's say why. Because then that brings us what? More awareness of who we are and being able to duplicate that environment so we can continue to live in that space and that freedom and that excitement. But if the answer is no, again, still brings us awareness. But now we have to start asking ourselves questions why we're in environments that don't allow for us to show up to be our best selves. Listen, I am excited about you all jumping on board again one more time for a moment of clarity. Here's what I want you to do. I know you know someone that's not being their most authentic self. So matter of fact, I know you know 3 someones. Give this to 3 people and just tell them, I need you to just watch this, and then they're going to start participating in the same exercise. Don't wear yourself out. Let me do the work for you. But here's the other thing I want you to do, whether it's in the comments, whether it's on my cell phone, or whether you go to the website that's highlighted in the caption. I want you to reach out to me and let's book a time in which we can talk about your authentic nature and the environments that you're in so you can thrive even more as clarity breeds the confidence for you to take the things that have only resided in your mind and for those to be the reality in which you live in. I am super excited about the things that are going to come out this week. I'm excited about the inventory that you're going to do. I'm excited about the passion that you're going to be able to feel and the confidence that you'll have in your unique nature because we're doing the inventory. We're doing the work to allow for clarity to breed confidence.